What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the RiOT Comedy Podcast presented by RiOT. Shout out to RiOT, natural spring water, keeping us healthy and hydrated over here.
Hydration is important.
Big NBA trades, Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
Miscellaneous things.
It's just good stuff across the board. Let's get football out of the way because we came up with a theory for the NBA All-Star Weekend picks from Kenny, Chuck, and Shaq that you guys need to hear. So, NFL, though, lo and behold, the two teams that were in it are still in it. We've had a long wait until the Super Bowl, so let's get into it a little bit. And
we also had NFL awards last night.
Come on now. Can we just stop? Okay, so award show was terrible. But anywho, I watched some of it, dog. It was bad. But anywho, nothing really surprised me a ton. Media narrative pretty much drove these things the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. Same
I
song
had
and
a
dance.
problem. I had a problem with a couple awards, me personally. Two awards I had problems with was Comeback Player of the Year being Joe Burrow. I thought that was an odd award to give him, considering he's Joe Burrow. I know he had dealt with injuries for like a year and a half, but we all expected Joe Burrow to come back and shred. I feel like Sam Darnold was more deserving of Comeback Player of the Year since everybody said he was a scrub. And now homeboy's about to get $30-40 million a year, led a team to a 13-win season. I think if people would have said, put your money on which one happens, Joe Burrow throws 40 touchdowns or Sam Darnold leads a team to 13-14 wins, you'd be like, I'm put my money on Joe. All day long. How did you feel about the MVP? I mean, it seemed like that's who they were going to give it to since about week 11.
You know, I think anybody but Josh Allen would have been a better pick. Like,
really?
He had a great season. He had his best season he's had, but when you look at he didn't have the most outstanding season this season, and he's not even nowhere near the most actual valuable player in the league. Lamar had the most outstanding season.
Yeah.
By a good margin.
Yeah. I think what we need to consider here, though, is nobody thought the Bills were going to finish second in the AFC. And I know you said they would be good, but everybody said this was going to be like the first year that Josh Allen didn't really play with a bunch of talent, and they're probably going to take a step back, and it didn't happen. So I do think there's a case to be made.
There's absolutely a case to be made. I just feel like, he didn't the numbers compared to other players are not necessarily MVP numbers, and so if you didn't have the most outstanding season, he didn't have the most outstanding season, and he's not the most valuable player. Like, Patrick Mahomes is the most valuable player by a mile. Saquon was equally as valuable as Josh Allen this year when you're talking about just gauging value.
Correct.
And so when you're like that, and you didn't have the numbers that another guy had,
they were,
but like Lamar's numbers, come on. Lamar had fucking 41 touchdowns and 4 picks and 800 more passing yards than this dude.
I understand. I understand.
So it's like Josh Allen got this award because everybody's like feels bad for him watching him fucking lose to Patrick Mahomes every year. So it's like, oh, here you go, Josh. You're never gonna win a Super Bowl probably, and we can't give Lamar every MVP and just have you.
I don't think you can give it to Lamar. I think Lamar's off the table. Like, best season of his career.
If Lamar had never won an MVP, if Lamar had 0 MVPs like Josh Allen, we wouldn't even be fucking talking about the MVP discussion this year. It would have been Lamar's.
But he does, and we see players get MVPs all the time.
Okay, that's right. But he does. But if he didn't, his season this year, he would have been MVP.
I'm talking about
by a mile.
I'm talking about when you look at the criteria of how they pick MVPs. Josh Allen's probably going to be the MVP. Now, I don't agree with it. I'm just saying, based on the bullshit that all these fucking stupid hoops people jump through to convince themselves of who they should vote for in the media, that's why he won it.
He won it because part of the criteria has become
is it your turn?
Fatigue.
Is it your turn?
Right.
That's what it's come down to as much as fatigue. Is like, is it your turn? I think this is how I feel. Is that the way that you gauge the most valuable player in the NFL should be of you had to take one fucking player in the NFL. This is how I feel. Is every single person that was up for the MVP discussion, if you replace them with Patrick Mahomes, their team would probably be in the Super Bowl. And that includes Saquon Barkley. Which, I mean, the Chiefs, I mean, the Eagles are in the Super Bowl, but you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
If Patrick Mahomes played for the Ravens, they would beat the shit out of everybody, like bad,
Absolutely.
like super
Absolutely.
super fucking bad. If he played for the Bills, I don't think the Bills win more football games than they won this year. But I do think if you switch Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, that the Bills are playing in the Super Bowl, or
Me
at
too.
least would have beat Josh Allen.
Me
So,
too.
and I know that we don't want to see I know that we don't want the fatigue of like Patrick Mahomes wins a fucking MVP with 25 wins. I mean, with 25 touchdown throws or whatever he had with like fucking 12 picks. Like Patrick Mahomes
Numbers matter. Patrick Mahomes did not have MVP numbers this year. You can't give it to him.
I know, but it's like, who won the most games? Who won when it mattered most?
See, that's the thing, and that's why I wouldn't give it to Josh Allen, because whenever you talk about actual value, if it's just the most pure, most valuable player, numbers don't matter, nothing. You gotta give this award to Patrick Mahomes every year. Like he's
That's
the
what I'm
most
saying.
valuable player.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I honestly think that most valuable player award, I don't know who it should have went to. Like, this year was a really, really tough year to pick. I think that they maybe should have gave it to Saquon just because, like, I mean, he's Saquon Barkley.
So it's not the quarterback award every year?
Yeah. And, like, if you're a running back and you do what, I mean, Saquon, this is how good Saquon Barkley is that he got tackled 10 times this year at the 1 yard line. And Jalen Hurts got 11 rushing touchdowns this year from 10 tush pushes and 1 more rushing touchdown. So, like, if you would have just thrown those touchdowns to Saquon, which he's responsible for those touchdowns, like, regardless of what anybody says, like, he's responsible for getting the ball to the goal line, and then they just tush push. Otherwise, he would have more touchdowns. But, like, if you would just add half those touchdowns to Saquon's numbers, his numbers would be fucking ridiculous. And also, like, if you put Saquon Barkley on any team in the NFL with a competent quarterback, they're one of the best teams in the NFL. Plain and simple.
Absolutely.
So, like, I don't want to get it. I don't want to be too fatigued by quarterbacks and give it to Saquon Barkley for the fuck of it. But we're talking about a 2,000-yard rusher, and people can say, well, there's more games now. Well, he didn't play the last game of the season. So this motherfucker still rushed for 2,000 yards in 16 games. I'm a little disappointed in him for not going for the record, just because, like, if you don't want to be a part of football history, then, like, I don't know if I want to give you the MVP, as fucked up as that is to say, because they'd already
I feel you.
They'd already clinched their seed, though. So if you're Saquon Barkley and tear your ACL to break the record, now you don't get a Super Bowl.
I feel you. And for everybody who thinks, like, oh, the record doesn't matter because it's in
It
more
matters.
games, Eric Dickerson has the record in a 16-game season whenever the fucking Juice Man was playing 14-game season.
Right.
So
it matters.
So
It matters.
fucking Eric Dickerson has the record in a longer season than the dudes that were playing before him. Eric Dickerson is not as good as O.J. Simpson.
No.
As great as Eric Dickerson is, he's a bad motherfucker. Like, Eric Dickerson is, like, the real deal. He's, like, and as a Rams fan, like, I love Eric Dickerson, but he's not O.J. Simpson.
He's not Walter Payton, fucking Barry Sanders and Juice, dog. Like,
right.
What's his?
He's probably
Jim
next
Brown.
tier down, though.
He is. No, he's
Yeah.
on, like, the same tier, in my personal opinion, like, as fucked up as this is to say, but, like, you're on the same tier as Emmitt Smith. Like,
yeah, Emmitt Smith is the all-time leading rushing leader. Like,
right, but he's not.
Bad dude.
But he's not OJ.
Yeah, like when you're
He's not-
talking Jim
he's not
Brown,
Jim
Walter
Brown.
Payton, Barry Sanders, those guys.
LT,
Yeah.
LT, like,
Adrian Peterson, those are the dudes that you put up at the tip top.
I meant AP,
And
sorry,
Eric
not
Dickerson's
LT.
that.
I wouldn't put LT up there with AP.
But
I
Danny
saw both
Tomlinson.
I saw their entire careers
Yeah.
play out all the way through, dog, and, like, there's some, like, the guys who are at the top of the list are also
Tomlinson
pretty,
is not in that top tier. He's like
he's not powerful
at
enough.
at his best. He's not far off, but he's not there.
He just doesn't have the power. Like,
Right.
the backs that
right.
I put at the very top tier, like, even Derrick Henry's pushing top tier for me. I wouldn't give it to him quite yet, but, like, the speed and power, the ability to break a tackle from a linebacker, and, like, Saquon has breakout speed and strong enough to break tackles consistently. And LT was great.
Yeah.
LT is honestly 1B as far as, like, that
Yeah,
tier
for
goes,
sure.
probably. But yeah, another interesting thing happened in the NFL yesterday. Sorry to just jump off the MVP debate since we're kind of both on the same page, but Eli Manning missed the Hall of Fame, and I will say this:
Absolutely egregious. Should have been
Manning
a
has never won
first ballot
Eli
Hall of
Manning-
Fame. Easy.
Eli Manning has only won playoff games in 2 years of his career.
Really?
That's not good. That's not good.
That's not good. That's not good. Make him wait. Make him wait.
You
so
play
so
for 50,
outside of the 2 years he won the Super Bowl, he never won another
never won a
playoff game.
playoff game. No, and I could
know
be
what?
wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure he's 0-4. So, like, this dude
Yeah,
went
you
to the
got
playoffs.
you got to make that dude wait. You got to make
to
him
the
wait.
playoffs like at least 10, 12 times, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is no such thing as football history, and you can't talk about Eli Manning. Like, there are certain moments in
Real
players'
talk.
careers that define what we consider in our lifetime as a Hall of Famer. Like, Kawhi Leonard has no business, for the most part, in the Hall of Fame if Eli Manning doesn't. When you look actually at, like I know that the Claw has a Defensive Player of the Year award or whatever, but you got less career points than Tobias Harris. So, like,
Yeah.
you guys got drafted the same year. So it's not like you're 25 and he's fucking 40. Okay? But when you
Right.
watch these guys play, you say, "Oh my God, Kawhi Leonard's running Toronto made him a Hall of Famer." Regardless, there's certain moments in people's careers. Like, people talk about how good Joe Namath was. Joe Namath is not even very good. But he said he said, "I'm gonna win this Super Bowl tomorrow," while he laid out in his beach chair and fucking swung his dick around a football field and won that motherfucker. And that creates this lore around him, right? And it's not like Eli Manning won one Super Bowl and had a decent run one time like Joe Flacco, right?
Yeah.
I did it twice. I beat Tom Brady twice, and not only that, but I finished when I retired, I was number 10 in career passing yards and number 10 in career touchdowns. Like, he's number 11 and all those things now, but, like, I know he played a long time. I know he's not his brother.
That's the thing is, like, if you retired top 10 in passing yards, top 10 in touchdowns, and you got 2 Super Bowl MVPs, it's like that's first ballot Hall of Famer every time.
In my opinion, you had as good of a career as you can pretty much have as an NFL quarterback. Your career is better than 95% of all quarterbacks to ever play.
Right. How many quarterbacks have 2 Super Bowl MVPs? His fucking brother doesn't even have 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and his brother's 1,000 times better than him.
Correct. Like, when you look at the list, like, I don't know if John Elway has 2 Super Bowl MVPs. I don't think he does. I bet you Terrell Davis got one of those.
Terrell Davis has at least one of those.
For sure. And then Kurt Warner. I guess does he even have a Super? He does. He has one. I guess he's only won one Super Bowl.
He's got 2 league MVPs though. Kurt Warner,
right?
Different
Ben Roethlisberger does not have. I don't think he has 2 Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure Hines Ward won one of those Super Bowl MVPs and won a Cadillac. I'm like 99% sure on that.
That sounds right.
And then you look at, like you said, Peyton doesn't. Aaron Rodgers doesn't even have 2 Super Bowls. Like, Phillip Rivers never even went. I'm trying to think of guys that even have 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime. I think it's like Eli, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes. Is that it? And Peyton?
That's it.
Drew Brees ain't got no fucking league MVPs. He ain't got no Super Bowl, and he ain't got 2 Super Bowl MVPs. So, like, and I know Drew Brees is far and away better, but, like, we also have to take into consideration that, like, you can draft Aaron Rodgers, and you can go to the playoffs every single year. And you can lose in the NFC title game every single year and win 1 Super Bowl, or you can draft Eli Manning, miss the playoffs half the time, but have 2 Super Bowls. And every single person's like, I would love,
Super Bowls.
As a fan, as playing with these guys. I guarantee you, Michael Strahan would have rather played with Eli Manning than Aaron Rodgers. Like, as far as, like, the career shake out the same. Like, yeah, you play more playoff games. But, like, I got to retire on top and win 2 Super Bowls. So
Michael Strahan only won 1 Super Bowl.
Was he only there for one of them?
He retired after they won their first.
Gotcha. Okay, but still, like, I guess they didn't matter then for him. But you know what I'm saying, though. Like,
well, yeah, absolutely.
Like,
surely there was someone else there for both of them besides just Eli. We're assuming that dude would have rather played with Eli and won 2 Super Bowls than won 1 with Aaron Rodgers.
Correct. And here's my thing, though, is like, you have no All Pros. Sucky. You're only like a 4. I think he's only like a 4 or 5 time Pro Bowler. No playoff wins outside of his Super Bowl runs. But you pay quarterbacks money to win you games when it matters most. And Eli Manning's stats outside of the 2 Super Bowl runs are not good. Like, aren't good.
Right.
He averages less than 1 touchdown throw a game, and he averages almost 2 interceptions a game. Like, his numbers are bad. And nobody's over here saying, Eli Manning will be a second ballot Hall of Famer. And if that's the criteria that we're setting, I'm okay with it. I would have to look at the all-time history list of first ballot Hall of Famers to actually know if this is fair or not. I'm just saying, now that you've set this criteria, though, in my personal opinion, it's going to be hard to let some of these quarterbacks in as first ballot Hall of Famers. It is. It's going to be hard.
I think it's okay to make people wait around if they don't have like the consistent greatness of, like we're talking about Eli Manning right now. Like Peyton, even if Peyton only had 1 Super Bowl, Like this dude, every single year, first ballot Hall of Famer, no matter what, because
Without
every
question.
single year you were doing it
And it
and
is
like
fair.
taking regular ass squad to 13 wins and this
And
and
it is
that. Like,
fair to say that like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are first ballot Hall of Famers. Eli Manning is not. So it's not
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's not like
absolutely.
it'd be different if like you get if it was the NFL Hall of Fame and you're one and done, and that's it.
Yeah,
And Eli Manning never makes the Hall of Fame now. Then it's like, all right,
yeah.
motherfuckers, slow your fucking roll. But in my personal opinion, I would say the criteria to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and if one of your check boxes is 2 Super Bowl MVPs, ching ching, motherfuckers, first ballot Hall of Fame
You
is the
know,
best
for sure.
award that you can win in all of sports is championship MVP, and he's done it twice.
And you were top 10 in the 2 most important stats of your position when you retired. Like that's pretty damn solid.
Agreed. So I think he should have been first ballot, but I get leaving him off, and I'm not too shook up about it.
Yeah, I'm not upset about it.
Fuck it, man. And
Last
go
thing,
ahead.
NFL. Let's talk Super Bowl now that Super Bowl weekend is actually here. I know you said last time we mentioned Super Bowl Chiefs. I'm gonna take
Chiefs,
the
dude.
Eagles. I'm sticking with it. I just have a gut feeling, and I'm basing my pick off of nothing other than that.
Yeah, I mean, so I've been seeing people breaking it down, and I couldn't agree more with most of these assessments as far as like the better team, Philadelphia Eagles. Better defense, Philadelphia Eagles. Better run game, Philadelphia Eagles. Better wide receivers, Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, at the end of the day, they have better everything except for coach and quarterback. That's it. That's it. That is all that matters. That is all that matters in an NFL football game is because this Chiefs team, like, I'm going to keep it real with everybody. Like, they got Chris Jones. That's a bad Chris Jones, a bad motherfucker. Ain't nobody else on this team even sniffing bad motherfucker. I don't want to hear Travis Kelce's name no more. Dude's a stud, all-time great, arguably the greatest tight end of all time. But he's not in his prime. Because if Travis Kelce was in his prime right now, they would beat the fucking Eagles by fucking 2 touchdowns, without question.
Yeah.
We all know that he's not as good as he used to be. He's still good, but it's okay to say, like, this goes out to all the bronzexual fans too. It's okay to say that people aren't as good as they used to be. And that's okay. Because people age and we all do it. It's okay. So, but all these NFL analysts can sit there and point to all this bullshit that they want. I heard it through the whole AFC playoffs. I heard hater Terry Bradshaw saying that the Chiefs weren't good enough to beat the Bills or the Ravens in the playoffs. I heard everybody saying that this is the best team Lamar Jackson's ever had. I've heard everybody say this is Josh Allen's year because he's playing at an MVP level. I've heard all these things before, and they've all equaled the same equation as its Chiefs win. You can add up as many things as you want to on this side, and for people that know math, you can do a little sideways triangle to say greater or less than, and you can put Saquon, Joe Montana, fucking Terrell Davis, Emmitt Smith, fucking Isaac Bruce, fucking Jerry Rice. You can put everybody on this side. But if you put Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes over here, greater than. That is what it has come down to because Andy Reid has proven time and time again that he is by far the best coach in the NFL, and it's not even fucking close. It's not even fucking close. Like the way that he puts a game plan into place over the course of 1 week, like because 3 starters go down and he just shifts his game plan and their game still looks good enough to win and they still win. I don't think Nick Sirianni's even fucking sniffing what's going on in Kansas City. That matters the most. If you get out coached and you get out quarterback played, you're going to lose the football game. And if Jalen Hurts rushes for 100 yards and throws for 300 yards, but has 1 interception, there's a chance that all of Patrick Mahomes' numbers are across the board or worse, but he played better. Yeah. Like that, that's what we're looking at here. So do I think the Eagles can win? Absolutely. I think Saquon could have 2 50-yard rushing touchdowns, but I do think if the Eagles want to win, you better give Saquon Barkley the ball 30 motherfucking times, and he needs 180 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns to get this done.
No doubt.
To get this done, yeah. So that's why I would never not pick the Chiefs, and it has everything to do with the same reason why I would have never picked against the Patriots. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, done deal. So at the end of the day, I don't
can't win them all.
They already lost 1. That was probably enough.
Tom Brady lost 3.
It took him fucking 20 years.
Started off 3-2. Same thing could happen to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. Me personally, just because
again, this my pick is nothing except my gut feeling. There's nothing logical that tells me the Eagles are going to beat Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
My gut even tells me that like the Chiefs want the three-peat so bad that like, and like whatever, like this is what everybody's doing too, which is like super stupid right now. Is everybody's just giving the Chiefs ammo? Like, how dare people try to discredit a three-peat in the NFL? Like, how dare you guys be like,
Yeah.
well, there was a couple calls here and there. And I remember when everybody was complaining about Tom, like when Gronkowski came out and was like, these calls are ridiculous. I'm like, I can show you tons of footage of you guys winning Super Bowls based on shit calls.
Yeah.
I saw you guys beat the Chiefs on shit calls. We're talking a toenail over the line. We're talking a toenail over the line and it was offsides by the defense. Nobody's saying it wasn't, but that call never gets called. He had a toenail over the line, and then you threw an interception. They're like, boop, nope, offsides. Didn't throw the flag until after the interception was thrown. We saw it. We didn't know if we wanted to call it or not. So, like, don't tell me that shit, dog. Don't tell me none of that shit, Rob Gronkowski. Miss me with that. And if you guys continue to try to discredit the Chiefs and tell everybody they only win because of referees, don't get the wrath of the Chiefs, motherfuckers. You guys should jock their dicks all week and be like, no one can beat them. They're the greatest.
Yo,
Like,
real talk.
all
real
these
talk.
things, because, like, you guys are literally just telling these motherfuckers that, like, y'all ain't shit. And they're literally the greatest. This is the best NFL dynasty we've ever seen, and it's not even fucking close. Because the Patriots had 2 dynasties. They had 2.
Right.
That's a big difference. These motherfuckers been in the Super Bowl 5 times in 6 years. If they win this Super Bowl, we're talking 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. We're talking 3 in a row. And they lost the Super Bowl in there. So, like,
Yeah.
I just can't listen to it anymore, dog. I'm over the referee bullshit. NFL doesn't pay me to say this. I don't like the Chiefs. I don't like them at all. Horns up. But at the end of the day, dog, if you guys don't like these motherfuckers and you guys want to beat them so bad, then score touchdowns. Quit getting stopped in the red zone. Quit going forward on 4th down knowing good goddamn well they know your play. Quit doing stupid shit. You guys, like, quit being the Detroit Lions, everybody. Like, I keep trying to tell motherfuckers, dog, like, if you guys want to go out there and fill the stands and you guys want to score a bunch of points and, you know, get your dick sucked after the football game, be the Detroit Lions. Go ahead. Score 30 points tonight and fucking fling that football around. But when you throw 2 interceptions and fumble it in the open field and give up 3 turnovers and you lose to somebody 25-21 in the playoffs, go fucking
you
cry
lose
to
the
somebody
turnover
else.
battle to the Chiefs. Fucking don't even bother coming to the game. You ain't gonna win that shit.
And it'll look close. It'll look closer. All these Chiefs games look closer than they are. All of them.
Yeah, but when you watch them, you're like, yeah, the Chiefs gonna win this shit.
They're better.
They control the whole damn game. And then in the very biggest moments, they don't fold, and the other team does. And
Every time. Like, that whole thing with fucking Josh Allen, and they're like, he didn't get the first down. I'm like, get your whole body across the line. Like, you guys are mad because a referee missed a call by 2 inches? You guys ain't mad at yourselves for fucking getting 6? Getting an extra 3-4 inches there to make sure there was a no-doubter first down? Like, what are we talking about here, everybody? You guys are mad about inches whenever the Chiefs are out here getting it by feet. Like, come on, man. Like, goddamn.
Hey,
So
I gotta disagree with you on that one. I mean, if you only have to get the ball 6 inches, you only have to get the ball 6 inches. I don't need to get the ball 3 fucking feet for this dumbass ref to know that I crossed the line.
well, then don't get stopped 2 times in a row before that on 4th and 1. Don't show the referees you can't get a first down. You just showed the referees 2 times before this. If it's 4th and 1 and we run the ball up the left side, they're going to stuff it. You showed the referee already. You already told the referee that we can't get first downs. That's a fucking shit play call. Like, that's my thing. Is like, I know it's like, well, you shouldn't have to do that. Well, you know what? You have to do things to beat greats. You have to do things that are extraordinary to beat greats. And if you're not doing extraordinary shit, then take your mediocre ass home, dog. Like, everybody gets calls. Tom got calls. Like, I can't stress this enough, dog. Like, if you guys want calls, then win. Then win games to prove to the referees
that is how it goes.
that you're good enough to get fucking calls. I'm sorry. Like, we're already changing the rules for the Chiefs. Like, we're already saying now that, like, well, you know, we're going to change the overtime rule because if the Chiefs get the ball in overtime, nobody will get it back. Okay, cool. That's fine. Whatever. And everybody's like, well, they changed the rules so the Chiefs would get the ball back. Well, did they? Because I remember the Bills not getting the ball back, and all of a sudden fucking rule changes as soon as the fucking Chiefs start getting the football. Because everybody's like, well, if the Chiefs get the ball, we don't get it. We don't get it.
Yeah.
So they changed the rule for that. Now we're going to change the rules that you have to review pretty much every quarterback run now, because if there's a flag on it, you got to review it. So, like, the Chiefs are so good that they exploited the game so much that now we're about to have 3 rule changes, and we're going to implement fucking did the ball touch the first down marker barely with fucking technology? Like, I know we need these things to correct things in the game, but like, we're literally just changing the rules because the Chiefs got too good at exploiting the fucking current rules that we have, and everybody's mad.
Okay, for sure. But let's be real. Like the overtime rule had been a problem. Like everyone hated that dumbass rule for a minute before that happened.
I agree,
So it's not
but it
like,
didn't get changed.
this happened and then
It didn't get changed until the NFL owners saw that because the NFL owners changed these rules. They never changed it until everybody's like, well, if the Chiefs get the ball in overtime, we can't win, so let's change the rule. That's what happened.
But right. But it wasn't just like the Chiefs. It was like this is a dumbass rule to have for the playoffs. That's
But
what
you
it came down
waited.
to.
You waited until the Chiefs did it and then said this isn't fair. When Tom did it the year or two before, everybody's like, okay. I mean,
No,
fuck
even
you.
then, everybody was like, "This is stupid. This is a dumbass rule." And then it keeps happening, and people are like, "Okay, this is enough of this shit." It's not a Chiefs thing.
Okay.
It's a
Sure.
repetitive thing.
Sure it is. Awesome. I noticed the rule didn't get changed until
Because it was something that keeps happening.
I'm
If
not
the
buying
Chiefs
it.
would have lost that game the way that they won it, it would have got changed.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
People begged for the rule to change 2 years before that when fucking Tom did it to them. And the NFL owners were like, well, we don't want games dragging on till fucking we're worried about player safety. And then they were like, well, the Chiefs are never going to lose in overtime, so I guess we'll change the rule. Like, that's how I see it. I saw everybody's been screaming for the overtime rule to change for 20 years. This is dumb. You fucking kick a field goal and win. And then they were like, okay, we'll change the rule. But if you score a touchdown, game's over. And it's still that way in the regular season, which is awesome. Like, just get this game over with. But all I'm saying is like, how many times are we going to fucking blame the rules? Flags. Like, how many times are we going to keep blaming shit as to why your team didn't show up and perform?
That's what losers do.
Correct. So, like,
Hey,
everybody
real shit. Like the Chiefs also, their fans, after they lost to Tom Brady, we had to listen to all these motherfuckers bitch and be like,
Right.
"Oh, the game is rigged, this and that." It's like, okay, so if you're a Chiefs fan, the game is rigged when you lose, but if you win, it's not rigged.
I mean, that's every fan except for, like, logical people. Most people are just like, yeah, we're not very good. Like, a lot of people can't just be like, yeah, we're not. Like, when the Rams were in the playoffs, like, I honestly thought we had a legit chance to, like, beat the Eagles. I'm not going to lie. Like, when I knew it was going to snow a lot, I'm like, okay, cool. Saquon can't
As
get
soon as
too
I saw it was
loose.
going to snow a lot, I said, this shit's over. We
I
can't
was
win.
like, I liked it because I was like, the only way we can beat the Eagles is a messy football game. I know that we're not the ideal team to play in snow, but like Saquon gonna get $180 on us, 200 minimum, in flashy fashion if it doesn't snow hard. If it doesn't start snowing, when it starts snowing, we'd have lost that game by 4 touchdowns. Like, Saquon was having a fucking field day on us before that snow fell. But I was realistic to say, like, when we won our first playoff game, I don't remember who we beat. Vikings, because fuck the Vikings.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a very successful season for us as a Rams fan. I'm like, we went to the second round of the playoffs. We won 10 games. Like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, if we lose to the Eagles by a touchdown like we did, by 1 score, and we had a chance to win, great season. Fuck it. I'll take that for how we started the season and everything. A lot of fans can do that. But I do want to get to some NBA stuff just real quick before we end the podcast. So me and Trent, we were talking last night on the phone, and it was after Chuck, Shaq, and Kenny drafted their teams. And we were like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Like, the draft didn't make sense, right? Especially Kenny, the Jets. Like, none of these drafts made sense. Right. And then we were like, holy shit, when you analyze these teams, Shaq got all the old best players, Kenny got all the new young American players, and Chuck got all the Europeans. So we have 2 American teams, 1 European team, 1 old team, 1 young team. And I know Kat and Donovan Mitchell play for the Europeans, but they just wasn't enough to fill a team, so we're going to pretend like they don't. But, like, it honestly is the 26 and under team versus the old All-Stars versus the Europeans, and shit might get spicy out here, everybody.
It's going to be awesome. It's like they did it perfect. And everyone, even myself included, we was all talking shit on Kenny's picks at the beginning. We're like, what the fuck is Kenny doing? And then we sit here and look at him like, okay, that's dope. Old heads, young guys, Euros. All separate teams. This is going to be awesome. So Shaq, Kenny, Chuck, they were definitely colluding to organize this. So shout out to the inside crew for.
They're the ones who came up with this idea. Actually, came up with this idea. It makes me wonder if the NBA had some fingerprints in this. But like, whosever idea it was the best idea that you can have. Because me and you have even said for the last at least year, maybe 2 years, that like if you guys want to make this All-Star game fucking spicy, U.S. versus the world.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we were always like, but the U.S. is never going to go for that shit. They're not going to do it because they know they can't fucking win. You line up all these fucking American players, they cannot beat the Euros in an all-star game, 5-on-5.
Mm-mm.
It's not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
They'll get the fucking brakes beat off of them, and they know it. So they was never going to do it.
You say that, but like, it ain't guaranteed. Like, I know that, but like, it'd be a lot closer, I think, than some people think, just because like one game and all on the line, like LeBron,
Yeah.
Steph, KD, Anthony Davis, fucking Kyrie Irving, like our American Jalen Brunson, Cat, like our American, like once you get to the bench, start to get like lower on the bench for these Euros, like the starting five of the Euros
For
are
sure.
nasty. That's nasty shit. Like you got Shea, Luka, fucking Giannis, Joker, and who am I
Jokic and
missing?
Giannis.
There's a fifth
Embiid.
guy. Well, starters. There's got to be a guy that we're missing that's super fucking good, right?
It's gotta be.
So, like, even those four guys, though, roll the balls out,
Yeah.
you know? And, like, but, like, I guess your fifth starter could be Joel Embiid, but, like, I don't know. I don't know about that. But our athleticism is what is going to fuck shit up for them.
Yeah, but it ain't like we're far and away ahead of them dudes whenever our starters are gonna like we're gonna have LeBron and KD and Steph in the starting lineup, all these old motherfuckers, and in their starting lineup, they still got Giannis and Shea, who are far superior athletes to anyone who's gonna be in our starting lineup.
Yeah, but here's the thing is that, like, if you really want to put the best American players out there, like, Steph and KD do not get to start. I want Ja, I want Ant, I want LeBron, I want AD, and I want Bam Adebayo in this motherfucker. And we out here.
I mean, I feel you. I'm still gonna take the Euros though.
I feel
would.
you. I feel you. It's just not going to be near as big of an ass whooping as everybody thinks it would be.
I mean, I watched the Olympics this past summer, and Nikola Jokic was far and away the best player in the tournament.
Correct.
By
Correct.
far, not even close.
But-
Like,
You think, I'm just saying, if you have Anthony Edwards and John Moran on the court at the same time, you have a huge advantage. You have a very, very big advantage. That's how I feel.
you do for athleticism, but when it comes to playing basketball,
They're great at it. They're great. Never missed the
they're
playoffs.
they're not Doncic and Jokic. They're not even close.
No, but Anthony Edwards and John Moran are both two guys, though, that are good enough to never miss the playoffs pretty much no matter who they play with, though.
For sure.
And that's all I'm saying.
But-
Is like when there's only 48 minutes in a game and there's only one ball to go around, I think America has a pretty good chance because, like, our bench is going to be like Steph, KD, Donovan Mitchell, fucking, like, whoever. Like, those three guys, and then, like, there's just De'Aaron Fox and fucking... Now, the one guy we didn't mention for the Euros that we forgot, that was like, who would be the fifth guy in the starting five? Wemby's a problem.
Yeah.
Wemby and Joker and Giannis in the starting five are a problem. That's a problem.
Yes.
That's not what we're looking for.
And then Luka and Shea. Shea is your shortest dude.
At like
Shea
6'6",
is your
probably.
smallest player. Yeah.
Yeah, we're in trouble. I'm not saying we're not in trouble. I'm just saying, like, can we get a best of 7 series of this, please? And like whatever it costs on pay-per-view, we'll pay.
I feel you.
Whatever it costs. I would easily, I swear to God, I would, like, if it costs $500 to watch this best of 7 series on pay-per-view, I would pay for it.
Yeah.
Not per game, but like, here's $500 to watch the whole series. I got you. I'm gonna try to get it illegally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to stream it illegally first. But if I can't find it, $500 all day long. I might even chip in on a G bar with somebody else. Like, I'll watch at your crib. Like, I got $500 on this stuff.
Yeah, I feel you.
But we deciphered the All-Star teams, guys, and we wanted to get everybody else excited for it because we thought it was dumb at first too. And now
it's going to be an awesome All-Star weekend.
We're
it's going to
super
be
excited now. So
they
we'll leave it at
saved
that.
the All-Star game because it's been unwatchable for who knows
20
how
years.
long now.
But we'll have a lot more
Real
shit.
like 10. Like, don't even tune in.
We're going to be interesting because, like, we're about to get Jimmy Butler on the Warriors. He's going to start playing. AD's playing tomorrow for the Mavericks. Luka's coming back Monday against the Jazz. We're going to actually get to see how these teams start to shake out. It's going to be early. We'll see who has some growing pains in there. And then we'll be able to give you, like, you know, that's what's so difficult about the NBA. You know, like, who do you think is going to go to the finals? And it's like, well, fuck, I picked the Dallas Mavericks to start the season, but I didn't know.
Yeah, me too.
They were
Yeah,
going
me
to trade
too.
Luka. I didn't know. And then I didn't know that OKC was just going to be like, fuck it, we're not getting better. So there's so many things.
Right.
There's so many things that have changed in my life. Now I'm starting to think maybe the Lakers got a chance. We'll save that for the next podcast because it might be delusional, but we'll talk about it on the next podcast. We'll get with y'all and fucking hope everybody enjoys the Super Bowl and their fucking fantastic weekend.
All right, thanks for rocking with us. Shout out to Ararat. Everyone stay up.
Peace.